Hey people, it is Friday, October the 29th, and the time is 11:20 in the morning, and the temperature is 13 degrees Celsius. I'm here on the Esplanade between Yonge Street and Church Street, and I'm heading east. Just walking past this neat little row of restaurants and bars with patios, although nothing is currently happening in the patio action as far as today goes. It's a bit cool, I guess. I think all the patio action has moved indoors. So I thought I'd walk east along the Esplanade to the Distillery district. I've done a number of walks along the Esplanade, but I've never walked east. I've always walked west. And then after I cut through the Distillery district, I thought I'd continue on up to Queen Street East. And I would walk west along Queen Street East up to Mutual Street, and then I'd walk north along Mutual Street, and I think I'll end the video at the Maple Leaf Gardens Loblaws store, where I like to buy my frozen pizzas and my yogurt. I recently did a walk cutting along parts of the Esplanade here, so I'm going to try to change this one up a little bit. I've always liked this view of the financial district from this part of the city. So let's walk on this side of the street. I think this is one of the nicest walks in the downtown area, along the Esplanade and into the Distillery, or vice versa, through the Distillery and along the Esplanade. So look up Market Street, named after, of course, the St. Lawrence Market. And here's the temporary South building, which is really just a big tent-like structure, and it will be soon replaced by a new North Market building that is currently under construction on Front Street, across from the main entrance to St. Lawrence Market. This is the back side of it here. We're on Lower Jarvis, looking north. There you can see the crane where they're building the new North Market.
Against the entire fucking plan of why we did it.
Goodness, that guy's coughing up a lung. A lot of the residential buildings are along here. Along here are a mix of co-ops and regular rental apartments and rent geared to income apartments and some Toronto community housing. It's a very mixed neighborhood, and the buildings are very human scaled. There's a co-op right here, Woodsworth Co-op. And of course there are some newer condominiums also popping up along the street. Down at Church in the Esplanade, there is one that's fairly tall. Around 30 stories. Most of them tend to be in the 10 to 15 story range.
And so it just gave you that like.
The reason why I tend to walk in the other direction when I've done previous videos of the Esplanade is because you get to walk towards the skyline, as you can see. And it's just a bit more dramatic. Seeing all the bank towers and the CN Tower. But it's certainly a different perspective walking in this direction. I can't even think of how many times I've walked in this direction, probably less than a handful. Oh, we got some kids dressed up for Halloween. David Crombie Park. It's named after a former mayor of the city. And here's Lower Sherbourne Street. Okay, this is new. They've added some red bus lanes here. These were not here before. And here's the massive time and space condominiums. Hello there. How are you? You don't seem too spooked by me. I think the squirrels around here are pretty used to people. We're just about at the end of the Esplanade. It ends at Parliament Street, and that's where the entrance to the Distillery district is. And this is the St. Lawrence neighborhood, if I haven't mentioned that already. I never noticed that before, the St. Lawrence Cafe. And this basketball court has been featured in a bunch of TV shows and movies and whatnot. So that's it. It's the end of the Esplanade. A lot more leaves have fallen compared to just a couple of days ago. Guess fall is kicking into high gear now. Sometimes it takes a while to get going here in the downtown area of the city. Things can stay pretty green a lot longer than you would expect. There is a bit of that heat island effect, I think. Here's Parliament Street. And we are now entering the Distillery district. So this is the largest collection of 19th century industrial architecture in North America. And of course there used to be a number of distilleries in the area.
Oh yeah?
And you can rent segways here to tour through the neighborhood. And a lot of these restaurants and boutiques and galleries tend to be a bit on the pricey side. They do cater to the tourist dollar. So according to that tour guide, some of these buildings date to 1842. And this is the center of the neighborhood. And as you can see, there are new condo towers sort of popping up around the periphery of the distillery. Not so much in the actual distillery, that would not be permitted, but around the edges, that seems to be happening more and more often. I think there are some new buildings proposed. And there's a very popular Christmas market that takes place here in the distillery. However, last Christmas it was cancelled, I believe, and I think it's going to be cancelled again this year. I'm not sure why. I'm pretty sure this year probably could go ahead. Most restrictions have been lifted for outdoor gatherings. There are now no capacity limits for outdoor gatherings. And indoor capacities have also been lifted in most settings. Maybe they didn't have enough time before the announcement was made to get everything in place to go ahead with the Christmas market this year, which is too bad. It's one of the most popular events in the city. And they do have an awesome big Christmas tree and all kinds of festive atmosphere. This neighborhood is really made for it. Kind of looks like something out of a Charles Dickens novel in the winter. Woof, it's quite the wind tunnel happening here. 1832 is how far back some of these buildings go. And you can see the CN Tower. The top is completely shrouded in the low-hanging clouds. That was a relatively quick walkthrough of the distillery. Here's the adjacent Canary District. I just recently did a walk through this neighborhood. It's a rapidly developing new neighborhood. So now we'll make our way up to Queen Street East. Try not to get blown away here. And this was a giant parking lot that was a bit of an eyesore, and it's finally being developed. A large residential complex. Let's get a shot of that skyline. Sorry. And on my last walk through the Canary District, actually I didn't show this building. This is the actual old former Canary restaurant that the neighborhood is named after. So this building predates almost everything around it by a good 100+ years. Looking west down Front Street. Wow, okay, according to that rendering, a new condo is going to be built on top of the old Canary restaurant building. What it looks like. On top of or behind and sort of cantilevered over it, I guess. Maybe they're not going to actually affect the old building itself. It looks like it will be kept completely intact, which is good to see. You'll just have a new neighbor. Oh, we have another Halloween costume. Let's see how many we can spot. I'm thinking maybe having the walk go all the way to the Maple Leaf Gardens Loblaws might make this a bit long. Maybe I will split it into two separate walks. Because this one is approaching a half an hour. And it will probably be another half an hour at least to get up to the Maple Leaf Gardens. So I think I will split this up. I'll go up to Queen Street and maybe I'll end this video at Queen Street and then begin a second video, a part 2 if you will. And here's Virgin Place. I've seen this from the other side, where it goes off of King Street, but I've never noticed it looped around here. I've always gotten a kick out of that particular laneway name. So here's King Street East. This is the Corktown neighborhood we're now passing through. Currently walking north on Sumach Street. And we're heading straight for the Regent Park neighborhood, but we're not going to go that far. You can see it off in the distance though, those tall buildings. And here's Queen Street. So I believe, oh, and this is cool, the Magic Building. Look at that, is that a witch up there? I think that's a witch looking down. I wonder why it's called the Magic Building. I want to look into that. So anyway, as I was saying, so I'm going to end the video here at Queen Street. So I hope you enjoyed this walk along the Esplanade, heading east through the Distillery district, and then north here to Queen Street and Sumach in the Corktown neighborhood. So leave a comment below. Let me know if you enjoyed this walk. And like and share and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And be sure to hit the notification bell so you don't miss any of my videos. And if you'd like to support the channel, there are links in the description where you can do so via PayPal and via my merch store. And you can also find me on Instagram under K Continuum. So thanks for watching, and be sure to keep checking back because, as always, I will continue. And I will continue on with part 2 of this walk.